The bullet train is progressing very well. As we speak, I think we have covered almost 284 kilometers, 8 rivers, bridges we have completed, stations are on the verge of completion. The Maharashtra section also is now progressing very rapidly. The first undersea tunnel work has already started. So the progress is very good, and we should not look at bullet train simply as a transportation project. It has to be seen from integrating economies. I'll give you the example of Japan. The first bullet train in Japan was commissioned in 1960s, 1969 or 1970. If you look at that bullet train, basically starting from, let's say, Tokyo, Nagoya, Kyoto, Kobe and Osaka, these 5 major economies, they get integrated into one economy. Same thing will happen in India in the first corridor that we are doing here. From Mumbai, Thane, Vapi, Baroda, Surat, Anand and Ahmedabad. All these economies will become one single economy. So you can have breakfast in Surat, go and complete your work in Mumbai and come back and have dinner with your family in the night. So that's the power of the economy.
And would the fares undercut airfares?
Most of the places wherever bullet train projects have gone, practically bullet trains have taken 90+% transportation share. For example, in Japan, between Tokyo and Osaka, I would guess it is something like 96-97% by bullet train and 5% by other modes. In railway, most of the large railway systems of the world, they shifted to automatic train protection when the speeds started increasing from 70s to 100. Because when you are traveling at 100 kmph, then the ability for a loco pilot to see the signal physically reduces dramatically, because one passes in a absolutely like a very small fraction of a minute. So around 1980s and early 1990s, most of the world's railways, they shifted to a technology called automatic train protection, ATP, we call it in short. Unfortunately, the governments of that period, 1980s, 1990s, 2000s and 2010, those governments, they never cared about the safety of railways. It was in 2016 when the ATP in India was approved by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. He approved it 2016 to 2019 certification process happened. Then of course COVID came, but still a lot of work was happening in parallel. And now we have very good progress to show, close to 4,000 kilometers of, and again it's not like simply putting a device in a train. It's a very complex system. It is like setting up a complete telecom network along the railway lines, setting up many data centers along the railway lines, integrating with the signal. It's really complex. So our covered system today, we have done about 4,500 odd kilometers of optical fiber cables. We have done about 800 odd telecom towers already. About 600 odd stations are, the data centers have been prepared, station signal integration has been done. Progress is very fast, very rapid, and the manufacturing and design ecosystem is also getting developed. So as we speak, it's like, it's on the verge when we can see exponential rollout. Getting real solutions, focus has been on solving real problems. And India offers basically an opportunity to solve problems at population scale. Where else in the world will you get an opportunity to solve something at a billion plus scale, right? And our government has always focused on giving equal opportunities to women, to equal opportunities to smaller towns. In a sense, if you look at it, the basic construct of technology is to democratize technology. The way UPI was done. So for example, if you look at technology in many other geographies, I wouldn't take any names, technology is basically controlled by a few big tech. Whereas in India, we have created, our Prime Minister Modi ji's clear focus was on democratizing technology. Technology should be accessible to everybody. It should be openly accessible. It should be like interoperable. So that's why most of the things that we have done, whether it is UPI, whether it is Aadhaar, whether it is the healthcare system that we are creating, whether it is the logistics platform that we are creating, all these are platforms where everybody can join and create solutions. So that is one of the reasons why we are seeing very good traction in tier 2 and tier 3 cities and among all sections of the society. In a very simple way, everything that is switched on and switched off has some chip in it. So if we want to grow our manufacturing base, if we want to be Atmanirbhar in manufacturing, Atmanirbhar in our supply chains, have resilient supply chains, we need to have semiconductor. Now, we have a very strong semiconductor design ecosystem in our country. So it's very natural that the next item in the value chain, which is semiconductor fabrication, and the third one, which is semiconductor ATMP, all the three parts of the value chain must be there in the country. And who else is better positioned than us? We have huge talent. Close to 30% of the global semiconductor talent is in India.
Yeah.
Recently, I had gone and met about 45 odd semiconductor companies. Practically every company, the CTO was an Indian expat in the valley.
Right.
Practically every R&D organization in semiconductor industry is run by Indians. Why shouldn't we have the semiconductor industry here in India? We should.
Sure.
And this is something which our country has been trying for more than 4 decades. The first attempts were made in early 1960s, 1962, 65, 70s, then 80s, then 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Practically lots and lots of efforts were made, and finally